Good morning. Well, it is the 7th of November, and here is my little hoop house. It's not near as good as a couple of y'all's, but it serves the purpose for me. Right here, I have some spinach coming up. I have several rows of different types of lettuce. Every row is a different type of lettuce. My little bush beans that I don't know if they'll work or not, but we're gonna give it a whirl. I've got bush beans planted all right here, and they're just starting to come up. My sweet peas, they're just doing so pretty, just going right up their little trellis thing there. I have cucumbers over here that I need to thin. I just threw some seeds down there, and I'm going to stretch the same type cord over on this board as I have here. And this is where I went crazy with the mustard seed. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm going to have to thin those big time. Then I have some more lettuce here and some spinach that's just starting to come up here. And here again, went kind of crazy with the collard seed. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's little collards right there, and I'm going to have to thin those here pretty quick too. But this is my little hoop house. These right here are my little tomato suckers. They're just in little 4 and 6 inch pots right now till they get their feet under them. I rooted them from suckers from my other tomato plants that I still have outside. And they're doing good. They're putting new leaves out now. So they're doing good. I'm going to wait till they get probably 10, 15 inches tall, and then I'll put them in a big pot. I'm learning. The mosquitoes are eating me up out here, even though I have mosquito spray on. But I'm learning. I'm learning a lot. This is my first real attempt at any kind of garden or greenhouse or anything. And my lettuce and spinach and everything on this side's coming up real pretty. I don't know that the green beans over here are going to make. I really don't, because it's November. It's going to start getting cool. It ain't got cool yet. But I don't know if they're going to make or not. I don't know if beans are affected by the light like a lot of them are. But I'm inside my little hoop house right now. It's about 8:30 in the morning. The temperature inside in my hoop house is 8 by 8 for those that haven't watched it before. The temperature inside here right now is 87 degrees, and it's 69 outside. So I think it's going to work great. Now I've got the sides down. Remember how I showed y'all the bottom parts of this will roll up and sit there if I need some air in here. Right now I'm just leaving the door open. There's where I left my coffee cup. Right now I just leave the door open, and the ventilation comes through pretty good through the door open. But here pretty quick, probably in a month, I'll have to keep the door closed so that it'll stay warm in here. Okay, this is something that someone told me that I've tried, and it works. The milk carton over in the corner. It has 3 little holes punched with an ice pick in the bottom, and it sits in that soil over there. If you will notice how pretty and moist that soil is, that water just releases just a little bit at a time, and it keeps all of this little corner here watered. Someone told me that it'll slowly water, and it does. Now if I take the top off, the water just goes out real fast, but the top is just barely kinked at the top, and that water just slowly releases down into the soil. I've not watered that back there at all, and it stays. But I've got some more here that I'm going to put a couple of them. You can see, well, it's got hay on top, but you can see this over here. I'm going to have to water today because it's getting a little bit on the dry side. But that over there, when you touch the soil, it's still just as moist, but it's not soggy, but it's just as moist as it can be. And I've got one over here also that normally sits right there. I just took it to go fill it. But it's the same thing. I've not had to water any of this. because it just slowly releases the water. I've got two 16-ounce soda bottles that I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to put one in here and one in here. And it's, I don't know how it does it. I'm sure there's a scientific thing as to why it does what it does. But I like it because I don't have to water. I don't have to, and I let my water set out so that it doesn't have all the chlorine and all that good stuff in it. But I learned something else I wanted to share. I planted these lettuce here, and all of this is about, I planted them the 26th of October, and you'll see they're about 2 inches tall. They're doing good. They're starting to put off their new leaves. That was a good planting day according to the moon calendar I've got. It said it was a good day to plant. These right here, I planted 2 days later. Same soil, same seed, same everything. And they're just now starting to pop through. I don't know how it works, but the calendar evidently does work. These beans here, I planted on a good bean day. One of the symbols was for above ground crops. Plant these. I waited 2 days later, just 2 days, to plant these little beans. They are just now popping through the soil. And it's really interesting to me how that's doing that. I did it the last week. The last time I planted a row of turnips, and then 2 days later I planted another row of turnips. And those 2 days, one was a fertile day, one was a non-fertile day, the plants just grew extremely differently. Even though it was just 2 days, you would have thought there was a couple of weeks in difference in those plants, but there wasn't. There was 2 days. There is 2 days difference between that and that. Same soil, same everything, same amount of light coming through here. There's no difference. I didn't feed these over here any more than I fed these right here. Nothing. So, like I said, I'm new to the whole gardening thing. Even though I was raised on a farm, I was inside. We were canning, not working in the garden. That was man's work, but we ain't gonna go there. I just noticed I have a little mustard there. What is it doing? But I'm tickled pink. I'm anxious to see what this is going to do during the summer, during the winter. Winter here starts about mid-December and it goes through February. That's our winter. I'll have 70-degree days all the way up to probably the second week of December or so. It'll start dropping a little bit. But I'll have, in the nights, our first frost is usually somewhere around Thanksgiving is our first frost. So, but I want to walk over here and show y'all the tomatoes. It hasn't frosted yet, however, it has gotten down into the 30s. It got to 38 day before yesterday. But my tomatoes are still beautiful. See? Not a thing in the world wrong with them. They're still just growing great, putting out nude. Now I did attach some plastic right here and stretch it over, but I may be able to extend the life of these a little bit longer by doing that. But I counted, I've got 49 tomatoes, this size tomato, still on these vines. So I'm excited, but I just wanted to give y'all a little update. It's acting like it's wanting to rain today. I don't know, I'm looking direct north right now, but everything's starting to change colors. The grass is starting to get all yucky. I can